Because they're no longer owners of the units. Well, let's run through the roll call and see who's actually here.
That's fine. Who's the homeowner? Wait till she.
Who's the homeowners?
Pardon me?
We need a roll call? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're planning on chairing the meeting. It's our position that well, here, you start the meeting and then I'll make a motion to adopt my agenda.
Thank you for attending the
Who are you anyway?
Excuse me, ma'am?
Are you a homeowner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, that's what we were wondering who you were. We didn't know.
My name is Bruce Moore.
Nice
I
to meet
own
you.
Because they're no longer owners of the units. Well, let's run through the roll call and see who's actually here.
That's fine. Who's the homeowner? Wait till she.
Who's the homeowners?
Pardon me?
We need a roll call? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're planning on chairing the meeting. It's our position that well, here, you start the meeting and then I'll make a motion to adopt my agenda.
Thank you for attending
Who are you anyway?
Excuse me, ma'am?
Are you a homeowner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, that's what we were wondering who you were. We didn't know.
My name is Bruce Moore.
Nice
I
to
own
meet you.
14137 Lakeside Boulevard.
No.
So we're calling the meeting to order. The purpose of this meeting is to elect a new board, and the understanding is that everyone will be allowed to vote this meeting. It has been agreed upon yesterday, and once the election has been made, it will be placed in an envelope, and then it will be taken to, I believe, a judge or person that will go ahead and tally the votes, determine who is eligible, and from there, the election results will be gone ahead and made final. So with that, we need to move forward with nominations of...
Mr. Chair, I have to be recognized.
Recognized.
You made the representation just now to this membership that you were a co-owner of a unit, is that correct?
Yes.
What, could you identify the unit that you're the co-owner
I
of?
just said that, 14137 Lakeside Boulevard, Shelby Township, 4495.
And you're the title owner of that property. When did that take place, sir? And how long have you been the president?
I've been the president for about a week and a half, and I owned the property for about 3 years now.
You've owned the property for 3 years. Do you have any explanation why the title is still in Jane Szymanski and Robert Power?
Because we have a land contract, and they have retained title at this point.
Okay, and where is that land contract kept? Have you produced that for the association to prove your ownership?
No, I have not. And if we're going to go this route, then everybody can produce their ownership as well, and we can proceed from there.
That is in the rules. Are you aware of the rules?
I understand what the rules are.
Have you had an opportunity to review the rules?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
And I'm saying, if you'd like to proceed on that premise, then everybody pull out their ownership to prove that they have it. So if we have 100% of people here with that today, then that will be a point. If we do not, then we will proceed just as we were agreed to yesterday, that everyone would be allowed to vote, and we would determine.
Hold on, sir. And let me draw your attention to Article 8, Section 2 of the Articles of Incorporation, which state membership of the association, except with respect to non-co-owner incorporators who shall cease to be members upon qualification for membership of any co-owner, shall establish by acquisition of fee simple title to a unit and a recording with the Register of Deeds. Sir, you are not a co-owner of a unit, you are not entitled to membership of the association, you're certainly not entitled to chair this meeting. I'd ask that the next,
Point of order, please.
I recognize Judge Schimanski.
Article 2, Section 4 indicates appointment of assessments and penalty for default. Each owner or land contract purchaser, whether one or more persons, shall be and remain personally liable for the payment of all assessments, payments, blah, 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 blah. It outlines that you, a land contract owner, are recognized as an owner.
for purposes of collection, what was the citation, ma'am?
Article 2, Section 4, the bylaws of Shelby Town Center Association.
Of the association or the condominium bylaws?
Page 8, Article 2, Section 4. You have your bylaws in front of you.
I have my notes. I'll go get the full bylaws. Article 2, Section 8,
4.
4. Vacancies of the Board of Directors. That's in the association bylaws. Could you repeat the citation, ma'am?
Exhibit A, under the booklet everybody would have gotten as a homeowner, condominium bylaws, Shelby Town Center. Article 2, Section 4, page 8.
Section 4. You keep saying Article 2, Section 4, is that correct?
Exhibit A, condominium bylaws of Shelby Town Center. Article 2, Section 4,
Under the heading of assessments, correct?
under a heading of apportionment of assessments and penalty for default.
That just deals with liability for the assessments. It doesn't indicate anything about membership in the association. That's under assessments, apportionment, assessments, and penalty for default. It has nothing to do with membership in this association. It is more than
You wouldn't
information.
pay an assessment to an association if you didn't own a unit.
Let me go to
Let the attorneys
condominium
argue
bylaw, Article 1, Section 2. Each co-owner shall be a member of the association, and no other person or entity shall be entitled to membership. Membership of the association should be limited to persons or entities who own one or more units in the condominium project. Article 1, Section 4, Board of Directors. The affair of the association shall be governed by the Board of Directors, all who shall serve without compensation and who must be members of the association, except the first Board of Directors, and it continues, which is something that's inapplicable. Article 4, Section 1 of the association bylaws. The affairs of the corporation shall be governed by the Board of Directors, all of whom must be members of the corporation, or officers, partners, trustees, employees, or agents, or members of the corporation, except for the first Board of Directors. All directors shall serve without compensation. Continues that the developer shall have the right to designate one director as long as the developer owns and offers for sale at least 10% of the units in the project. I submit and move that the developer is present, his representative, Mr. Vincenzo Di Lorenzo, and that he has the right at this meeting to immediately, forthwith, designate one director.
Well, before you get to that, to add to your comments about what an owner is, go to the master deed, page 4. Owner means a person, firm, corporation, partnership, association, trust, limited liability company, land contract, then deed,
Excuse me.
if the land contract so provides, and goes from there.
Who's the vice president who's here?
Vice President.
It goes right down the ladder of officers. If the one is incapable of serving, then it goes to the vice president, then to the treasurer, and then to the secretary.
Mr. Kuzmano, I didn't realize that you had appointed yourself as the judge in this.
I'm not the judge, sir. I'm my clients. I'm representing my clients. My clients have rights under these bylaws. You are disregarding the bylaws. That's their position. So if you want, you have the opportunity to make a ruling in your putative office as president that I'm out of order. Well, that's what they did last time.
Mr. Kuzmano, you are out of order because you sat yesterday and agreed to exactly what I'm trying to do, which is to get a nomination for the board, let every co-owner, whether they're current, not current, or even not an owner in your estimation, vote. And then let the judge decide who an owner is and who has won this. So instead of taking up all of our Friday evening in arguing minuscule issues, we'd like to go ahead and move forward with the nominations, just as we agreed yesterday.
Okay, sir. Order of business, Article 2, Section 6 of the Association bylaws state the order of business of all meetings of members shall be as follows. It doesn't include what you just indicated. It starts with a subparagraph A, roll call to determine the voting power represented in the meeting. Are you aware of that rule, sir?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And you're also aware of what we agreed to yesterday.
We didn't agree to anything. I've never met you, sir. I never even knew that you had anything other than seeing your name on a land contract and some checks that were paid for some association dues in my review of the bank records. So I have no notice, and I asked the association, but let's move forward with the credentialing process whereby people have to produce their proof of ownership, and if they don't, under the rules, they're not allowed to vote.
Question is the judge supposed to determine,
Excuse me?
is the judge going to determine and look at all those votes and then, go like this?
Basically, what's happening here tonight is we're basically having a vote, and obviously there's a dispute over who and who is not eligible to vote. But for purposes of this meeting tonight, basically what we're doing is we're just getting votes, and then later on we're going to have to hash out, is your vote valid or not?
And that's what I'm trying to proceed with, is just to have that vote, have it done, and enjoy the rest of our Friday evening versus saying here for runs and frolics.
Now, who?
Can you introduce yourself to us?
Who are you?
I already did introduce
No,
myself.
I don't know
have
who
no
she is.
idea who you
We don't know
are.
who you are, we don't know who she is.
I'm Mercedes Verasti-Dordeski. I'm an attorney with Foley & Mansfield, and I represent Cincinnati Insurance Company, which is the insurance company for the association.
Thank you.
We have non-co-owners here, that they're renters. Why are they here? They not allowed to be at the co-owners meeting?
Would you like to suggest who a renter is?
Lisa and Darlene?
Has
She needed to make a roll
proxy's
call.
been submitted, and is there going to be an opportunity to review?
Yes, there will be proxy submitted.
Okay. So I'm going to submit an agenda. Apparently, there is no agenda.
Point of order, there is no rule or that allows a third party to come in to submit an agenda. I believe this meeting, the sole purpose is to comply with the court's order and conduct a vote. That is all that is supposed to happen. If that is incorrect, Mr. Deskey, would you please tell us that is incorrect?
No, that is correct. The purpose of this meeting was to elect a new board of directors.
That wasn't what was petitioned, that wasn't what was pled in the pleadings.
That was what was ordered by the court, Mr. Kuzmano. I have his opinion right here on my phone, and I can read it to you if you'd like.
Read the opinion. He does not order it. He just dismissed, he just denied your motion for summary
He
disposition.
says a special meeting should have been held for the purpose of electing a new board of directors.
And the court opines that it should long overdue. Is that some paraphrasing it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Motion
Is
to
that an
remove
order of
it.
the court that this take place?
Yes, that's what we're doing.
I have standing, I am
Can I ask?
I am the proxy for Ms.
We
Donna
recognize-
Johnson.
My name is Waldemar Szczynski, I am owner, and this is first meeting when someone is asking us to produce owner papers. I have them, but I have at home.
Okay, I understand.
And it's normal, it's really, if we are required to produce, why on this invitation, there is nothing said about it.
Right, we don't have anything either.
Yeah, and I will, for sure, I'm the oldest owner in the school association, and everybody knows that I am the owner.
I understand that. The rules say that you're supposed to have done this, and apparently this entire association is running outside of its rules. So to the extent I understand, if somebody wanted to make a motion at this meeting to waive the rules, that would require 2/3 vote. But that's what it says. Now, putting that aside for a moment, anyone can reserve their rights to protest the results of this election, but for not failing to follow the rules. This gentleman here, under the rules, Mr. DiLorenzo, is able to vote his irrespective of whether or not he submitted those documents. He is in a special position compared to all other co-owners. And it makes sense. They don't want people coming in here voting that don't have an ownership interest, and they have to prove it. They have to submit a notice.
Thank you, Mr. Kuzmano. We thank you for all of your insight into this. We're going to proceed with the nominations. We're going to hold the election. We are not going to have to produce our ownership. We are going to go forward with this. And if they're not owners, then guess what? Their vote won't count.
Okay, sir.
Hypothetically.
Yes?
I guess I'm wondering, right, who proxy do you have right now? I mean, I guess.
I have Donna Johnson's.
Then how can she be here?
Pardon me?
How can she be here?
She can give me a proxy and still attend.
I don't think so.
Well,
Am I wrong?
tell
She's
me
the owner.
Yeah, but you represent that person.
That opens the door, I guess I'm just saying that opens the door for anybody to bring anybody they want to, as long as they give their proxy to that person, then they can just tag along.
That's
Is that correct?
So if that,
That's
That's
correct.
why I want to move forward, because Mr. Kuzmano is trying to run the whole show, and he represents one owner that has 17 proxies. I introduced myself. Could I do it one more time? My name is Bruce Moore. I am the owner of 14137 Lakeside Boulevard, Shelby Township, Michigan, 48315.
Are you going to do a roll call, sir, to determine voting quorum?
No, I didn't. I have not.
So how did you become president?
I can view that, looking here, and by the count of the proxies, at the end, we'll know if we have a quorum or not.
And are you going to ignore the rules stated in
Yes, I am.
Article
This
2,
evening,
Section 6 of
Mr.
the...
Kuzmano, we're not going to turn this into a circus as you always try to do. So, you can try, and I'm sure that in the end, that what we've already discussed, that we're to vote, and as agreed, then in the end, that there will be a determination by the judge of who the actual owners are, who is eligible to vote. Once that's determined, then he can move forward in declaring who is on the board of directors.
As a co-owner, I don't appreciate you disrespecting him.
And I can appreciate that.
Talking for us.
Anybody,
It doesn't matter.
It's shocking for us that there are,
But I want to know how, like, how did you guys get to be president and whoever you guys?
you can come up and share the meeting, it's
No,
fine.
I want to
As
know,
long as-
how did you get to be president?
you're not a
You
co-owner.
know, we can go around this.
No, I'm just,
I mean, let's just take a hand vote right
because
now.
aren't you supposed to be voted in? I'm saying, how did you get to be president?
We voted among the board, and it was determined that I would be president at this point. We understand that this is, the reason that we're here tonight is to do exactly what you want, is to vote to have a new board, or a board, whether it's a new board or us, because we're elected once again.
Again, the meeting was to remove the board and then elect a new board.
I'm sorry, that's not the
It was the
understanding.
judge's order.
That was the
judge's
petition
order to
turned
remove
in
the
over a year
board.
ago, and you're wrong.
See, a lot of people are being misled that are here. The judge ordered that the board was to be removed. And don't shake your head.
I have a
Does she
question.
That's
Excuse me, hold on, one
We
moment,
paid
please.
for her.
Hold on, one moment. You just asked me not to disrespect Mr. Kuzmano. I've always addressed him by name, okay? Now you're saying, and don't give me that, okay? She has a name, she has the ability to shake her head as well. So
Well,
if we're
The
going to,
ability of telling the truth and writing letters that are truthful so the co-owners know exactly what's going on is beneficial. Because they really don't. They're being misled.
Are you
We're
actually
paying
going to have
for it.
this meeting run without a roll call and A through G?
It's
of
not a
the-
meeting, it's a vote.
It's a special meeting under the association
vote.
bylaws called pursuant to these rules.
May I ask who
It's
she
a vote.
represents? Who do you represent?
Myself,
No, who do you represent? You're not a
Mike
co-owner.
Chirkos, one of his units, how's that?
Okay, you have his proxy.
Yes, I do, you've already been told that once.
No, you didn't tell me.
Yes, we did.
No.
You asked him how we were here, I said on a proxy, just like Mr. Cusmano is. I didn't ask him who he was, you know.
Who does Lisa represent? May I
I
ask?
know Mike Chirkos too, Mike Chirko is out of town, we
All
are
right.
representatives, he proxied them over.
Mike Chirko only owns one unit.
He
Farrah
owns
Chirko
five. He has five.
Excuse me, I don't interrupt you. The
Farrah
titled
Chirko-
owners, Farrah Chirko.
Chirko owns one, it's a family venture, they have 5 units. 6, sorry.
So now you.
I have a list of 82 units, which are the platted units for the under the master deed by address. I'll present it to Ms. Bertosh. If I pronounce your name improperly, I apologize. And also for you, sir. Those are the units that are as indicated on the Shelby Treasurer's website as being the owner's names of each and every one of these units, sorted by address. Again, my question to council was, is there's not going to be a roll call, there's not going to be proof of notice of the meeting, there's not going to be readings of the minutes of the preceding meeting, no reports of officers, no reports of committee, also no appointment of inspectors for the election. Is that correct? You're not going to allow any of that to take place?
We're gonna do the
we're
sign.
going to do a sign-in sheet, everybody can sign in, we'll go ahead.
Okay, well,
Turn in proxies, we'll go ahead and take the vote as the stated purpose of this. The meeting will be held for the purpose of electing a new board of directors for the association. That is the sole purpose of this meeting. And we intend to move forward with the sole purpose of the meeting so that we're not here till 9 o'clock, going around and around chasing our tails.
I'm not chasing your tails, there's supposed to be a roll call. It's going to be a roll call. I just presented you with a document, a working document to do a roll call. And if somebody is here for a proxy, then they can say and present the proxy. But I would expect that those proxies be inspected, be allowed to be inspected to verify with known exemplars, which I have with me, of their signatures of the co-owners.
And we'll go ahead and do a roll call and speak on the business.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Robert Powell.
Present.
Thank you. And I apologize because some of these names are not names that I'm familiar with, so if I do not pronounce your name correctly, I apologize in advance. We have Kijamet Sanaya. Jack, Ladjack, Hamzo. Antoinette Churko.
It's actually Di Lorenzo.
Pardon?
Should be Di Lorenzo.
Can I give you a ballot,
I
Antoinette?
haven't been that name in 6 years.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's what's listed on.
It's okay, it's fine, it's fine.
Can I give you a ballot, Antoinette?
Prime Group Management, LLC is their representative. SLW.
I have a proxy for him, that's Jim Sato.
Joycelyn McAdoo.
I'd ask to see the proxy for SLW unit L30.
She's the president. I need, so I need a.
No, Zerika.
So I need a. Joyce is here. Do I need a, sheet?
Speak up.
Yeah, Joyce.
Will you grab mine when you go up?
Ruth Smith.
Oh, yeah, present.
Melissa Bartolomeo. Bartolomeo.
Thank you, sis.
GLC Properties.
Mr. Chair, I'm not hearing responses. Apparently people are getting up and going. If you could ask
Need
direct
to hear
the
response,
members to
yes or
speak
no?
up or raise their hand.
Okay, if you are here, please respond in the affirmative. Shirley.
Alyssa's here.
Thank you.
GLC Properties, then there was no response.
I'm sorry, GLC is present, I have a proxy for him.
Shirley K. Bishop.
Here.
Thank you. Barbara Churko.
I have proxies for her, it's just 5 units.
I'd ask to see those proxies and who is the designated proxy person designated to vote.
Brian Cummings.
I have his proxy. Do I need another ballot?
Yes, please.
Will there be will we be allowed to inspect the proxies?
Yes.
Inspect proxies at the end of the meeting. Vera Churko.
Proxy?
I'm sorry, what?
Vera Churko.
Fair share, what about mine?
Good Commas Property LLC. Barbara Churko.
Present.
Michelle Churko.
I have a proxy for him. Hold on a second.
Who represents him?
That would be me, Lisa Hammond.
I'd ask that these
To
proxies
give you a ballot.
place in numerical sequence as to property address for purposes of facilitating the actual verification.
Ms. Hammond, if you need to vote, you have to go get a machine.
Churko,
Present.
Wellard LLC,
It's me.
Tarika and Churko,
Present.
Tomas Saitaki, Harris Kapitanovic. I'm sorry, thank you. Michael and Cheryl Stomps. Jacqueline Garza.
I have a proxy for her.
Sherwood Properties LLC.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing any response.
Well, if they're not here, there is.
I'm sorry, she indicated earlier she was a proxy for Fair
I am
Church.
for Jackie Garza. Jackie Garza also.
What's the address, please?
The address on that.
As well as
49852.
What's that?
49852 Lake.
No, Lakeside address.
There's no such address as 490.
Oh, I'm sorry, it is 14117 Lakeside Boulevard. I do apologize.
Is that a proxy as well, Mr. Chair?
I believe so, is that proxy?
Who's the owner?
With a paper clip on it. Handed them all to you, paper clip.
We'll come back to that one, if that's okay with you.
Okay, so that would be marked as I'm not present, correct?
No, we'll come back to that. Zeta Financial and Equity Group,
Do you have a proxy for that one? Anyone? Violet?
Scott Pella. Electron Max LLC. Stanley and Josephine Koradzik. Teresa Judez.
Here.
Thank you, Teresa. I don't know if I came even close, but thank you. Tomas Stankiewicz, I'm sorry, Tomas. Are you?
I have proxy.
Okay.
Is there a response from Tomas Stankiewicz?
Stankiewicz.
Stankiewicz? Is that your name, sir?
No, I have proxy.
Oh, you have a proxy, okay. Proxy. You got it.
I have here.
No.
Kumar Vaimal. Thank you, Kumar. James Amansky and Robert Power.
Wait a minute.
That's me. I'm here. John Benata.
Hold on a minute. I think I can.
There is a proxy for John Benata.
Present.
Is this proxy, how many proxies do we have so far? Is anyone keeping track?
No, sir.
No?
Mayor Hudson. Thank you, Mayor. Probably realizing your name too. James Amansky. Is it present, Jane?
Present.
Thank you. Rosalind Zarati.
My wife.
Okay. Do you have co-ownership or do? Ricardo and Sylvia Correa.
Co-sign. Coletti.
Donna Johnson?
Frank, say you're for me. Donna?
I'm sorry, what is occurring over there? Is it?
What happened? What
a
just happened? Do you have proxy for them?
Is being signed by Jane Szymanski for another individual?
No, she was taking a ballot to a co-owner.
Okay, so the ballots are being distributed before
No.
we have a
I
total?
took a proxy.
I apologize.
Okay, a proxy to, who did she take a proxy to? Sylvia Coletti? Is Sylvia Coletti here? Who did she take a proxy to?
Give me just one moment.
All
gentleman.
Coletti's.
I'm sorry, are either of the Colettis present?
They are not. I have a proxy. That's the third time I've
So
said it.
for Rosalind Zarif, her husband, Jane took a
Do you have
proxy.
the proxy from that?
Donna Johnson's present through proxy. I count proxy number 12.
Giuseppe Boza?
I'll get it for you, Frank.
Give it to Donna, I think she filled one out already.
Giuseppe Boza?
Mr. Boza is that is not Giuseppe's, that is Richard Coletti's unit by law. It is not Mr. Boza's unit, and I have that proxy. It is not Mr. Boza's unit, and I have that proxy.
What is the basis of Mrs. Szymanski's statement that he is the owner by law? Does she have any documentation
bought
other than her word?
He bought it. Go check the Macomb County Board of Records.
We've already
If you
established.
dispute
that
them,
we are
if you
not
dispute
going-
it-
Yes, we have.
We haven't established, it's done under protest, they reserve the
And
right.
that's totally fine.
I want to make sure that that's clear for all the people to know.
Okay. Turn it, no,
I'm sure that everybody is greatly interested in
no.
Leon
14167.
Francesco.
It's been that for 6 years now. You want to look at the records.
that. Antoinette and Mary Churka.
Mr. Chair, I show that Leon Francesco did not answer the call, is that correct?
That is correct.
And Antoinette Mary Garfalo. I'm sorry, I believe Mary Garfalo is present, she's approaching the chair.
Say here.
Say here.
Here.
Next one is Federal National Mortgage Association. I don't know if there's representation here. It is 14175. That's gonna be River Park Holdings LLC. Joseph and Megan Check.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here? Thank you. Fatima Ozick. Sophia Pietrowska.
Here, present.
Did you say Tomas? Yes. Okay, I have that proxy.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was recording. Did you say Tomas?
I believe so. Do you know the address?
Yes, I can tell you in just a second. You have very good address? I can't remember it. You also have the proxy. One four one oh five.
Tomas, okay. Do you have that, Mr. Guzmano?
I show that that's proxy number 14. I have known exemplars of all signatures of these homeowners that have paid through checks. I'm going to insist on reviewing these proxies and confirming the signatures are identical and matched, unless the document is notarized by a notary public.
Mercedes, you would want to know why.
I believe town center development properties, development companies, town centers development company is units 1 14192 through 14178. What is represented? Is there a reason why the chair did not call that?
We hadn't got to it yet.
Oh, I thought that we were, ended with Sophia Pietrowska.
No, I was being corrected by you on how many proxies we had and checking our signatures.
Okay. Thank you.
Town Center Development. Thank you.
You got to verbally respond.
Yes.
Would you just like one vote for all of them, or do you want me to give you?
Up to you. Any way you want to handle
Give
it.
individual, go individual.
I assume you're gonna, either way, whatever you like. I assume
One is fine.
okay.
No, as long as it's marked that he's voting 17 units.
Why doesn't he write the unit numbers on there then? He doesn't have to write it on 17 different pieces of paper, but.
Yeah, I'll let you go second.
I would write that too.
I would write down 17, but this is really kind of
Frank, can you write through the one?
I have something that has the numbers on
Yeah, we just don't want any accusations
Are you okay if I
that
write
we're
your name?
doing anything wrong.
Can I simply put just all these units for?
There's an issue over, he's going to, the developer maintains that he's allowed, despite, since he's not a party to the action, that he can vote off the units.
More than 33 or 17?
That's up to you. I mean, up to 17.
I think if you want it to
Do the 33.
You know what? Why don't I do it in two separate pages?
Okay.
This way, you only want to count 17, fine. You only want to count 33. You don't want to count.
Mr. Ron, is it okay with you if we proceed with nomination as well as continues?
Well, I'm writing.
Can
I write 16 undeveloped units,
Right.
17 developed units?
I suggest that they write what they
He
want.
wants the unit numbers, this is the unit.
So what they write is just like everyone else has done this evening.
It's fairly voluminous. Right.
Why don't we just?
According to everybody else.
Sophia, can you?
Yes.
Can you help with this? Then we can move on to the next order of business. These units that are built have ranges, and there's other ones that are unbuilt, one second, and so you write the units, unbuilt units.
Mr. Ron, could you have
16 built, 16 built, 17 unbuilt.
Can I have a motion to move to nominations? We've had a roll call. It's been determined that we do have sufficient amount of representatives or owners present to have a vote.
Mr. Chair, that is incorrect. I asked to see the proxies. I indicated I have exemplars of those homeowners who paid.
And we're not going to sit here while you review all of those. You are welcome to do that after this meeting. So if
Frank,
you
I'm going to take the proxies and you can come to my office Monday and you can look at them to your heart's content.
That's unacceptable. I wish to see those proxies today for purposes of establishing a record of what occurred here. I am not confident that Jane Szymanski and other members of the board have submitted proxies that are accurate and genuine. I believe that we're entitled, since there's been no electors appointed pursuant to the rules which are required under the Article 2, Section 6, subparagraph F, that I'm entitled to do so. That would be the role of the elector or teller and other parliamentary procedures in order to ascertain the validity of the proxies. Someone just saying I have a proxy and walking up, or Mr. Powers saying that I've got proxies for X, Y, and Z tenants who aren't present here is insufficient showing for purposes of electing this board of directors. will those proxies be made available as I indicated previously? And I want an actual count of the members present, the ones that are an actual total for the numbers that are voting by proxy as well. So that we can establish the quorum.
You have to do that first before you can do a vote.
I also want a ruling from the chair of what number of units is being used to establish the quorum. When I say that, I'm talking about the total number of units times 35%. What is the total number of units number that's being used times 35%? What is that number that we come up with to establish quorum?
By proxy or by presence, I will give you that total. I'm not going to sit here and break it out. We have other, I don't know about you, Mr. Guzman, you probably pay by the hour, so you want to have to spend 4 hours. Well, most of us are not here being paid to be here. So in the movement to keep this moving forward, we'll
So there will be no election of appointment of inspectors of the election, correct?
there will be,
To move it forward?
not at this moment. We've already discussed that, and that will take place for anyone that wants to see them. But it's not going to happen while everybody sits here and you compare signatures.
Okay, I understand that that's the ruling of the chair on that issue. I'm still waiting for a number to establish quorum and how that number's been calculated.
I am going to conference right now.
Thank you.
I got a question. Are we done calling out owners, or do we have one more here that needs to vote? Hamza Aliyev, that's one more owner. Go ahead. Do we call them out?
Do you have the property address?
Sorry, who is approaching the chair and for what purpose?
This is a gentleman that says he is a owner.
I'm sorry, are you refusing to identify who you're going to give a vote to or
Mr.
ballot
Romano,
to?
could you please stop? I mean, we're trying to do this, we're trying to do it in a civil fashion, and you're trying to cajole, heckle, do everything you possibly can. And it's not appreciated by myself and the vast majority of the owners.
I have a question.
And his name is Hanzo, H-A-M.
Aliyev.
Aliyev.
Yeah, there you
I'm sorry. A-L-I-J-A-G-I-C. And the address is 14051 Lakeside Boulevard.
And just for clarification, this gentleman purchased after May of 2013. Give him a ballot, and then you all can figure that out, arbitrator, judge, etc. I did, at the bottom of the ballot, I did star it, right, new owner after May of 2013.
May I ask what difference does it make?
If you were not an owner as of May 15th, 2013, you can't, your vote will not count.
Where is that in judge's order?
That was what was agreed on.
When?
Let's just move forward. I'm not going to say that I agreed to that. I believe that we were looking at, that was an issue, unresolved issue at this stage. Now,
For clarification, I want to address 14117 Silent Rick Properties LLC. Is there a proxy or no?
There is a proxy.
Who decided the date, May 15th, 2013?
Whose decision was that?
Who decided May 15th, 2013?
Well, that was something that was agreed on, but apparently now Mr. Kuzmano is saying it wasn't agreed on, so we're gonna have to wrinkle that out as well.
Mr. Kuzmano, based upon the calculations I just made, there's 39 either proxies or owners here, in addition to the 17 I believe that the developer, John Center Development Company, has bringing it to a total of 56. I believe you said that there are 83, which means we do have a quorum to the full.
82. What was the quorum figure times 35%?
You're off by one.
How do I, 17 of them, do I put all 4 names, or 3 names, or 2 names?
What I've done on one of the proxies that I have that has 5 votes, I start at the top with 5 votes. So I'm gonna write whoever gets nominated, and that'll be 5 votes. So I think you would just write people's names once.
One time.
Correct. That's my best
Based on
guess.
the calculations, we have 54 individuals, we have 56.
Counting all the proxies that you're not allowing me to see.
I did not say you could not see them. I said we were not going to sit here while you compare signatures to make sure that your eyes are deemed valid.
Okay. How many proxies, how many people present? I think that's important.
Well, and you were taking notes just as well as I were, so you can keep track of those as well. Do I have a motion to proceed with nominations? I see that motion. Do I have a second?
Who first did it?
I did.
Who seconded it?
Name, please.
And who was the second?
Joe Cracky.
Is there anyone that is present that hasn't been either called or identified? If so, we go forward with nominations. There are 5 positions, and therefore we will entertain as many nominations as there are, and then we will go ahead and proceed with the vote after the nominations.
Zofia Petrovska.
Shirley Bishop,
Nominate yourselves.
you're not telling us any other procedure, so.
Let's go ahead and have someone else nominate individuals.
Okay, Zofia Petrovsky,
Second.
Shirley Bishop.
Second.
Donna Johnson.
Hold on. Shirley Bishop, per Sophia. Who seconded it? Frank?
On behalf of Don Johnson.
Okay, next.
Donna Johnson.
We have a second?
Second.
Mary.
Mary Garofalo.
Will you second it? And second it?
Yeah, I've got Don Johnson per Sophia, seconded by Mary. Darlene?
Bruce Moore? I'll second it.
Who seconded?
I do. Mike Churchill. I'm going to nominate Robert Power. Second.
Who seconded?
James.
Okay.
Mary, Mary? I'm nominating Mary.
She's already.
Oh,
I suppose we also should ask, do the people that have been nominated, do you accept?
Did we get Shirley?
I've got Sophia.
I accept it.
Perfect. Shirley?
Accept.
Don Johnson?
Accept.
Mary G?
Accept.
Who nominated Mary? Who seconded?
And he's the.
I second it.
I'd like to nominate Miguel Churko.
I'll second that.
Does he accept?
Yes, he does. I have that good.
Can't second yourself.
She can
I'll
second
second it.
herself.
Joe.
Second by Jackie Garner.
I'll nominate Paul. I'm going to mess this up. I can't pronounce his last name.
I'm sorry, who seconded Sarika? Okay, Darlene.
Yeah. And I want to name Paul I can never pronounce his last name.
Pavel Manovsky?
Thank you.
Any seconds on Pavel?
I'll second it. Mike
I saw Joe, so I.
Did you create the ballots?
Yes.
Can you explain it to everybody in the room how you want the format?
Well, do we have any more nominations?
Yeah, let's finish the nominations before we.
I'll definitely cover that.
Anyone else?
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I ask that each one of the nominees be given an opportunity to speak to the body for 2 minutes.
That's fine. Approved.
We nominated Sophia first.
Hello, everyone. I've been a Town Center Association member since 2004 of July. I am the second business and the concept. I love the concept, and I think it's a great concept. It was neglected for years, and there was a lot of personal vendetta going on. There was a lot of animosity and a lot of anger spreading around. And I am here to tell you that I want to stop this. I am here to bury the hatchet. This is a great concept. There's a lot of work has to be done. We all bought those units to succeed in our businesses, not to fight with each other. I don't care if anybody likes me or don't like me. I am here to be a member of the association, protect my business, and love my neighbors. And I am running for board because I want to change what's been happening for years. And again, I love this concept, and I thank you, Mr. Di Lorenzo, for providing us the opportunity to be the business owners and have our business downstairs and live upstairs. It's a great concept, beautiful European style, and I'm hoping that we all can come together and work together and put behind us the past and look forward and change our investment. And I thank you, and I'm asking you for support, and I'm looking forward to work with people and with hopes that everybody can put behind the past. Thank you.
I have something to say. Don't clap.
Excuse me.
Okay, you
No.
want to, wait a minute, I'm gonna speak, I have a proxy
No,
here.
no, no, no.
Okay.
I need to recognize you.
My name is Bernadette Hammond.
Mr.
I
Chair,
live 2
that
doors
that
away
wasn't
from-
part of,
This is not what it's,
We're just gonna go ahead and let each.
this is being out of order.
I mean, I just have to
protest.
say something here because Sophia got up and said she wants to be friends. I really don't care if y'all kill yourselves, okay? But Sophia said she wants to be friends. Yet she has 11 complaints against me and my neighbor that's between us. She's alleging that I have 3 cats in my unit. How did she find that out? I know that we live under surveillance because she's got cameras, but she's not in my unit to see what I have. She wants to.
Mr. Chair,
May I
I would
respond to
just
this?
ask that you
May I
get her on
respond to
order.
this? It's only fair. It's only fair.
What's only fair, Sophia? That
It's
you
only
get,
fair.
wait a minute, you get mad at people?
Thank you. Thank you.
You said what you had to say.
Are
You
you
don't have to
running
vote
for
for
a
her. Sit down and keep on
May I
going,
respond
please.
to this, please?
It's my first time here.
This is not where here. She
You're
comes
saying-
in to
you're
spread
saying-
personal
Listen,
vendetta.
You're saying that
Excuse
you
me.
want to have a
May I?
friendly neighborhood.
She's being out of order. May I?
Give her a minute.
This is not where we're here.
What-
I'm not
then why
asking
are
you to be my
saying
friend.
You want this to be a friendly neighborhood, but yet you're gonna harass me over cats because I won't be against my neighbor that you
She's
want to
being
get
out
rid
of
of?
order.
We're going to end this conversation, ladies. We're going to not have any additional responses from the audience other than just the people who are running for office will be given their 2 minutes.
Well, you know what, when she stands up there and
She's
alleges
being
that
out of
she's
order.
something that she's not,
Please.
that I can say whatever I want.
I understand that.
You know, this is unbelievable. And Frank, you know what my family's been through the past 2 years. And yet, she's gonna give me these problems with 3, and make a lie that, and she, basically, how would she know I had 3 cats? If I had 1
I
cat.
had never signed a complaint
Are you
against you.
saying that?
Yes.
Are you saying that
Yes,
now?
I am saying
What
that.
if I can prove you did?
Prove it.
Well, I will.
Prove it.
So can we move on then?
Thank you.
This is awful.
We will not,
This is
other than people who are running for office,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Thank you.
And
She's a renter, by the way.
we had scheduled
Well, I
this.
have the complaints.
I understand. I understand it, and
She's a renter.
I
She's also a
understand your
renter.
Do you have
concerns,
my
but guys, this
No,
is not
because you know
part
what, you
of,
do, yes, I do have your signature on it, as a matter of fact.
Lisa,
please.
you can discuss it later. At
Point of
this
order,
point, we're
how
going
do
to
you
wind up
discuss it
having...
later, Frank, when
Please.
she does it, she hides behind you and files
Oh, that's
lawsuits?
not true. She's about the only one that wants to
Oh,
do
Donna,
things
please, she
according
told
to
you
the
a lie
bylaws.
that I never said,
Yeah, you
and you
can't
and
say
I quit
anything
talking.
about me.
Sir,
I never
she's
said
being
that.
out of order.
Please.
Can I ask her to be removed from the meeting?
This is ridiculous.
No.
This woman wants nothing but the best for this place. And people have been through deception since 2007. And
Mr.
because
Chair,
I know
Mr.
a
Chair,
lot, and I
I
can't
would
say
recommend
anything at
that-
this
Okay.
point.
We're going to cut off discussion, please.
I'm tired
Remove
of
her,
people.
please.
This is ridiculous.
I would just point out, Mr. Chair, that allowing it in one instance and then not allowing it forward after...
I mean, you can't
Sophia
speak to
went up
her
and
like that.
made
That's ridiculous.
major
She has
statement.
worked so
is
hard.
inappropriate,
She's just
but
a renter.
Irrespective of
I'm
that,
just
I'd
a
ask,
renter.
Mr.
I've been
Chair,
here
would you
since
take control of the
2006.
meeting, please?
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Please remove her.
Roxy, she's gonna have...
Guys, you know, we talk about getting
There's a
work
difference
together and all
between
of
a
this,
proxy
but I don't want to hear comments from anyone other than the individuals who are running for office, because we are supposed to be out here in 15 minutes, okay?
And I'm the next individual, and I would like to move on. I'm Shirley Kathleen Bishop. A lot of people know me as Kathy. I've been here since, well, been in Shelby Town Center for 9 years, since 2005. And I've given my life savings to live where I am and have my business and live there. And I'm just sickened at the fact that it looks like a ghetto, and I've lived in ghettos that better than what we're living in. The streets are falling apart. That's telling me there is something wrong with the bookkeeping. There is something wrong with there's just something wrong, and we need to fix it. We need to make this a beautiful neighborhood, not something that looks like a ghetto. And like I've said, I've lived in ghettos that look better. And I'm gonna go under if my business doesn't thrive because people are falling into holes in the street. I have a lot of handicapped customers. There are no handicap accessibilities. The sidewalks are on a slant up so that anybody with a walker really has to make an effort to get up that sidewalk. I pay my dues every month on time, and I have yet to have my snow removed before my clients get there. So I still have to get out there and shovel my own snow, even though I have a broken back. And I'm really tired of it. And I want to see things change. And if there's anything I can do to move this forward, I would love to do it. Thank you.
Who's next?
Don Johnson.
I'll speak on behalf of
Donna
Don Johnson. My name is Frank Cusimano. I've been representing Donna Johnson and Sophia Pietroska for several years now on a couple of cases. I'm going to explain the reason why the association doesn't have any money. It doesn't have any money because of self-dealing and also the waiver of dues for certain individuals, including Mr. Power over there and Jane Shemansky holding up that camera. All right? She owes, by my calculation, over $11,000 to the association. She waived her dues. There was no right to do so under the rules. We talk about the rules. Oh, they're so pecuniary. Those rules protect all of you. Protect all of you against people that are self-dealing and taking money. There is evidence in the bank accounts that $6,000 was taken out of the bank account, the savings account for this association on January 20th. 2010, the same day they scooped up a foreclosed unit for $137 at 14137. Okay? Now, what did that do to your property values? Them scooping up that property at $85,000. They did it. They self-deal. That's what these lawsuits are about. They cannot be reinstalled as officers of this entity. She created a corporation, collected dues, waived her own dues under an entity that didn't even exist, ignored all the rules. She'll continue to do so until the judge stops her. And in the meantime, I've had to jump through all kinds of hoops. You want to see your financial records? Go ask him tomorrow to see your financial records for this association. He won't give them to you. Ask him for 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2013. We've been going through it over and over and over again. So the point I'm making is, and we can show them to you, she'll show them to you, she'll follow the rules. And you better think about that, because that'll put you right, keep you right where you're at, because they're worried. They're worried about what's going to happen when a full audit takes place by a CPA, which is required under the statute, and he doesn't do it. He gives the money to a realtor to review the books of this.
Time's up.
This is all the truth.
It's the truth.
You guys just don't know yet.
What are you going to do?
You can't handle it.
Guys,
Done.
please.
Well, she's asking me a question. I'll answer the question.
No.
Follow the rules.
No.
Follow the rules.
No.
The rules protect everyone.
That's
Full
why they
disclosure,
keep
financial
holding
statements that you can
Well,
see.
thank you.
No, not thank you, sir. The fact of the matter is, this is what has occurred. Ask for the financial statements. She'll show them to you. She had to pay $1,000 to get them, by the way. They wouldn't produce
You're
them.
out of order. Your 2 minutes is up.
Were you timing?
That needed to be
Yes.
said.
Do you have a
Yes, we are.
timing? Do you have a
Everybody's
timing?
being timed.
Timing everybody.
Okay.
Wow, why didn't we say that a long time ago, really?
Because we had
Mary Jean.
Yes, my name is Mary Garofalo. 14172 Lakeside Boulevard is what I'm representing. A change needs to occur. This board, for approximately the last 6 years, in their hands, the place is like gone down into the ground. They're very guarded. They don't let anyone know anything. They're very smug. We need a change to move forward, and everybody has to come together to protect your property values. Basically, that's what we're there for, is we want our property to go up and to be well maintained. We need a new board, and we need it like yesterday. old guard has got to go. The cronyism, the self-dealing, everything has got to stop. So we can at least make the place look better.
Are you a spouse of that gentleman right there? Are you a spouse of that gentleman?
Are you a spouse?
No.
Sister.
Okay.
No.
Niece.
It's his niece.
Me.
She's the owner of the unit.
And I have one of the units.
Thank you. That's
Bruce Moore.
My name is Bruce Moore, and I own 14137 Lakeside Boulevard. I have a state farm agency. I've owned my condo for coming up on 4 years in April. And I have gotten involved because I've seen that many of the individuals who are sitting here tonight don't pay dues, but want to have all of the benefits of those of us who do pay dues, and they want to complain that things are falling apart because of the management. It's not due to the management as much as it is to a lack of funds from individuals who are filing lawsuits, who are doing things that are basically dragging the entire condominium association down the tubes. They don't care about the association. What they care about is just taking down us along with themselves because they know that their time is limited.
Can you point out who's not paying association?
No, I cannot. I'm not going to do that. If you look at the financial records, you can see who is in good standing, you can see who is not. And I'll leave it at that.
I have a question.
So why would we vote for somebody who's not paying the association or being nominated?
Well, we all are paying.
Well, then why, it doesn't make sense that this is illegal when it affects us.
No, I'm not saying that the people who have been nominated aren't paying their dues.
Okay.
I never made that statement.
No, I'm just saying,
Yes.
even if somebody wants to be nominated tonight and they're not paying their dues, we should
No,
be asked to know
everybody's
who's
paying their
not
dues
paying.
that's nominated.
I think it is part of every condo
And I agree
association
with
bylaws that whoever is delinquent on the dues is not allowed to vote.
Correct.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
let alone be nominated.
We agree
Who would
with
determine
you.
that?
But
Because there are a lot of
that's not
accusations from that side,
place for
from
years.
this side of dues not being paid.
I agree with you.
I have a
Yes.
question.
Yes.
You had said that there's a lot of individuals who don't care about the association who is suing association. Can you name who is suing association, please?
No, I have no intent on naming.
You have said it. I'm sorry, you just said it in your speech that they don't care. Could you please say the names?
I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry.
Why did you say it in your statement? It's not fair that you are saying that
Taking
people.
that political thing, you say
I'm
something
sorry.
you don't support.
Other people
Right.
have made statements that I believe are inaccurate as well. I haven't challenged
Yeah, but he
them.
supports what he says. You're misleading them. They're thinking people were nominated.
I don't believe you really know what's
I-
going
that
on
didn't
out
pay their
there, and that's
dues.
unfortunate for you. I feel sorry for you.
If anyone wants to see the financial records,
I just want to
everything I've
clarify,
said, at the end of this meeting, you can look at it.
if I
have
may,
it on my computer.
if I
Who's
may,
the next?
I am not suing association. I just want to make it clear. Donna Johnson and I, Sofia Petrovska, we're suing the board of directors on behalf of the association.
For all of you.
Association doesn't cost anything. I'm paying double.
Yes, it does. The
No.
attorneys are paid for by the association to defend the board.
We're
They have to
here,
pay
we're
their
here
money
because we
for it.
submitted petition on April
We're moving
15,
on.
2013
That would
for the
change
board of
it all.
removal. They would not allow it to be
We're moving
removed.
on.
That went to the court. That's why we are here. It wasn't my fault that they didn't want to follow the rules. I just want to make it clear.
What's the law? If you're not paying the association, I mean, can your place go on?
Well, ask the board members. They didn't pay for 3-4 years.
He owes like about 11,000.
Yeah.
Gene owes about
Okay,
10.
if we can't talk about our
Guys,
money,
guys,
how can
we've
this happen?
established.
Well, you know,
Okay.
they're asking and you're making
You're
comments.
volunteering
We
it.
have the
I made a comment just as all the other
Well, then
individuals.
don't say
But
stuff
you
that you
don't know what
If
has gone
And
on.
that is not my responsibility
Yeah,
to
but you must
educate.
let them. Then why don't we go down the list of
I'm
them
sorry, we're moving on. We're moving
I
on.
want to add one more thing. Who sued the association was Jane Szymanski for negligence. That she sued the association because she broke her leg on her sidewalk while she was a president.
President, and so did McGillicuddy's
Truth.
tenant
That's
or
the truth.
whatever, he's sued
And
too.
Sophia has sued the
Who's the next
association
person,
several
Rob?
times.
Don't know.
Jane?
Taken over the responsibility.
I had never sued the association. I counterclaimed.
You have sued
The association sued me and I counterclaimed.
Sophia, thank you.
repeatedly.
Rob, who's
That's
the
why,
next?
everybody's been
That is not-
misled
that's
for too many years.
No.
It's sad.
Okay, go back and tell me, Mr. DiLorenzo.
Did you pay your
No.
dues all the time?
Could you please repeat,
Hey, in fact,
Yeah.
could you please repeat that I should,
Jane, please.
Rob will probably want.
whatever.
Next person, Rob?
All right, I'm next.
Done.
I just have one, I just don't
Yes.
get, I don't get this whole thing that we cannot know who's not paying the association.
Hey, get your financials, ask them to see your financials, ask them to see the checkbook, ask them.
After they got in trouble, now they're paying them.
again,
Guys, listen, you can make a request to see the financials. You can make a request to see who has paid their dues, who has not paid their dues. I can assure you that everyone that has been nominated, Rob, and correct me if I'm wrong, is current with their dues.
That's false, that's disputed.
Stop paying my dues.
That's false.
Other people,
That is
why am I
false.
paying? I'm paying.
As we've got to move on.
Rob is not worried.
That's right.
He owes about $11,000 right
When I
now.
tried to refinance my house, right, I can't do it because 60% of the payments are delinquent.
Yep.
So it doesn't make sense that I'm hurting. I'm paying
Exactly.
my dues, and I
Exactly.
Thank
all
you.
of this just because 60% of the people are not paying. So why would I be paying for it? It doesn't make sense that this is okay. I mean,
And we agree.
Yeah, if they
And
can pay,
we've
why
been
would,
paying.
like, what?
I got stuff to show you.
What's-
You
what's
just
the
call
difference
us
with
and
that?
we will show you. And you will be appalled.
Can I make a
And I do
suggestion?
want to say that if I'm part of the new board, I will not vote to not pay my dues. I will pay them every
Right,
month.
and we.
Because I'm
Everybody
not
pays.
looking at this to make extra income.
Guys,
And if you
another
look at it,
discussion,
You have to vote for it,
and
which they never did. So we
you're
were
out of
showing
order.
a lot of money
Please stop.
all over the place, all over the
Thank you.
place.
Can I make a
Nobody's aware
suggestion?
of.
And this is to all the residents. I myself sitting over here with these lawyers, everyone, and I'm not taking sides. I don't know who to vote. For me, this is nothing.
Well,
Who
the
do I vote
paper
for?
trail shows.
How do I validate who is paying or not paying?
Get your
This
financial
election should be
records.
scrapped.
Yeah.
This election should be
Get your
scrapped right there until I know what are the facts. To be honest, how do I vote?
True.
Guys, here's the thing is,
You make
at the
a
regular meeting, the annual
They say,
meeting,
"I'm gonna see the financial records, I'm gonna see the bank statements.
at
As
the,
soon as
Ask
we
for
ask
it.
that,
You have a right to
they
ask
would
him.
not give it to us.
Okay,
We
that's
had
what I'm
voted
saying.
for it.
I don't know who to vote.
Right.
I need time.
And
I
now
need
they come on the
communication
board and
so
they
that I
vote
know
not
the next
to
board
pay
is a
their
capable
dues.
board of basically doing what is right.
I understand.
Thank you,
No one
sir.
can vote right now. I
Thank
don't think
you.
so.
Exactly. I'm saying.
I'll
these
show you the
people
records.
were
Cost
on
me
the
over
board and they
$1,000.
Voted not to pay their dues. The head of the board, they didn't pay their dues.
excuse me, I am not, you just said that I have not paid my dues.
I said powers, the
No,
man.
you just said the head of the board.
Well, you, for a week. That's a joke.
Thank you.
And you're not the co-owner.
Yeah,
We're
who even
disputing
appointed
that.
him? Who even appointed him?
The judge is going to decide that. We're disputing that, so
And
it's fine.
that's totally fine, you can dispute whatever you want, okay? Let's just leave that to the judge's determination.
And Jane is setting them straight.
Guys, who's the next person, right? Okay, I need to have order, and that means that you need to stop speaking, please. Thank you.
I'm Robert Power, item 14043, and after hearing the commentary here, it doesn't sound like people are ready to bury the hatchet.
Well, if you,
I will meet you, sir. I will meet you, sir. You want to see the records? Set an appointment with me. Did I come out of my office and help you?
Yeah, but I've been living there 9 years.
I know,
One
but
morning is
it shows
not a big
I'm
deal.
willing to help other co-owners.
and
Not
that's
true.
sure tell
Well,
why.
hold on, I think the argument was that you were a treasurer. Are you a CPA? Are you a CPA, sir?
I don't answer to
The
you, man.
lawsuits are because.
Are you a CPA in Michigan for paying taxes?
Mr. Kuzmano, that is not relevant to our discussion.
It was relevant when he got elected originally. The argument was to put him on the board because he was a CPA and he'd save accounting fees, and then he charged accounting fees. He charges accounting fees to this body.
Thank you.
I'm speaking on behalf of Ms. Johnson. I have a right to speak. It is true, I have the checks. Let's put the checks on. Let's show the checks to the people. Anyone who wants to see the checks?
Second. No more.
Moved.
Why?
He just made a number of misrepresentations. Yeah, after you vote for him, then you find out what he's all about.
I'm getting old here. Let's vote.
Well, we know that.
Yeah, you gotta know too. You just
honey.
don't follow you.
Because their butts are gonna be in
Can
trouble
I say
because
one?
everything was illegal.
Go ahead.
The chair recognizes Valdemir.
That's why they keep voting
Can you
themselves in.
please stop? Mr. Valdemir has the floor. Thank you.
You know what, for a long time I didn't come here to this meeting, to those meetings, because I got disgusted.
Okay.
And this morning, it was brought to my attention that for a while I was member of the board. Check actually for 1,300. It was not enough time to find actually what else happened. This was the year when probably we had to pay $130. It was 2009. Tomorrow I'm going to check my records actually for the year before and year after for the remaining 260. Right now, and supposedly I'm not eligible for vote today. And this is why I cut check for the 260. The same way how someone who didn't pay before, when I was last voting, the person actually had to brought the check to the meeting, paid, and was able to vote. And I would like to give this check $260, $1,300 I paid to the attorney, or actually to the board, just to
I applaud you for that.
until I will check and know exactly if I'm delinquent or not, because I have been member for more months actually that those 2 months. And
Thank you. Appreciate that. Expert, is that next person?
I have a question to Rob.
Sherko. Mike Sherko is not present. Zarika.
I have a question to Rob.
Zarika.
I have a question to Rob.
My name is Zorika Manovsky, and my husband, Pavle Manovsky. We have 2 condominiums, 14067 and 14102. We pay dues on time. We are good people. My husband is always available to help small things. So we want the best of the association, everything, but it's very hard when we have a meeting not going so well, like tonight.
Paul Winofsky is not present. That is all the people that were nominated.
Do I have a motion to move forward with voting?
Do we have a quorum?
Actually, before the motion, Mr. how do I pronounce this? Vimal Kumar, who owns 14136 Layside, would like to be nominated. I don't know if it's too late or not to nominate him to the board. That is the gentleman here.
We'll still accept the nomination.
No, you closed nominations, it was a matter decided, now you have to have a vote to reopen nominations.
Can I have a vote to let's
I
go ahead.
move to reopen the floor for nominations. Second, Mr. Tony, second.
Now we move to discussion. I have a right to speak on the issue. We have a number of nominees that aren't present here today. We have a number of people, over 50%, that are voting in proxy. I've not been able to have an opportunity to see the proxies. There's been a number of issues that have been mentioned, including the fact that I want to make clear that I understand that your husband brings, that you have your taxes done by Mr. Powers. Is that correct?
Point of order, all comments
What?
he's making.
You don't want
is
the
not
people know that you're
regard to the
engaged in
motion.
accountancy in the state of Michigan,
All of his
unlicensed, sir?
comments are not made with regard to the motion before the floor, which is to open nominations. Again, he has to address under Robert's Rules of Order, which is what this body has to answer to, and Mr. Cosmano consistently referenced, he has to address the issue only before the floor, which is to open the nominations to add Mr. Vimal Kumar to the nomination list. That motion
I'll
was
speak on that
seconded.
issue then. Mr. Szymanski, how do you know that Mr., and could you repronounce his name because I didn't make a note of it?
Pronounce your name for
Vimal Kumar.
Okay, so you've indicated that you wish to be on the board?
Yes, after looking at all this, absolutely.
Okay, and you would insist on following the rules and giving people financial statements, correct?
Absolutely.
Thank you, I have no objection to this.
And I have a question. Mr. Kumar, have I talked to you at all about going on the board?
You're not running the
Anything at all
meeting.
to
No,
you
that
about
is not
being
true.
on the board
That is not
whatsoever?
true. I just find this, I mean, it's pathetic, to be honest with
Yes.
you. I never came over here to nominate myself, but I am basically, there are two live and work associations in Shelby Township. One is Village at Shelby. I'm the treasurer over there, which is right on 24 and Van Dyke. And this is the second subdivision. You compare the two of them, there is a huge, huge contrast, huge difference. Developer went bankrupt, same scenario, but there's a huge difference. I see what is going on. Maybe someone who is neutral can walk in and make a difference. As far as I'm concerned, I have owned the unit for 1.5 years. I work for Chrysler. I'm an MBA from Ross School of Business, University of Michigan. I have the qualification in finance and strategy, so I can add value. That's all I'm saying.
Motion to move forward with voting.
Also, with reservation, I'm not going to move so that we can distribute and approve of this process.
For moving forward, I have that in a second.
Who seconded? Who first?
Could you spell your name for me, sir? What unit were you associated with?
14136.
What is your name?
It's Victoria, India, Mary, Apple, Larry. That's my first name Vimal. Last name Kumar, Kumar.
I see you, sir. Thank you. You're in Unit 92, correct?
Can I ask, because everybody has difficult names. Guys,
Before we proceed with the voting, Rob is going to explain the ballots and how to fill them out so that we can vote and hopefully be out of here by 9 o'clock.
I just one other question. Mr. Kumar, would you consider being the treasurer of this association?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, how do?
Yeah, the ballot, write your name or the name that you have a proxy for. The address, please. If you know the unit number, that's great. And then to write the names down, once again, the names, Sophia, Kathy Bishop, Donna Johnson, Mary G.
Wait a minute, it's Mary Garofalo, not G.
Yeah, Garofalo.
Okay.
Okay. Bruce Moore, myself.
Wait a minute, Bruce.
Bruce Moore,
Do we have to write all the names down?
M-O-R-E?
Do we have to write all the names on the ballot, or
no,
just?
just the ones you want to vote for.
Just the ones that we want?
Yes.
Okay.
And then click the box yes.
All right, so what's no
Up
there
to
for
5.
this first one?
You can vote for 1, 2, 3, 4, or maximum 5. Once again, Sophia Petroska, am I pronouncing that correctly? Shirley Bishop, Donna Johnson, Mary Garofalo, Bruce Moore, Robert Power, Miguel Churko, who is not present, Zorika, last name is Manovsky, and her husband was not present, Pavel Manovsky.
I didn't see him.
Mr. Kumar, can you spell your first name?
V-I-M-A-L.
And Kumar, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
There's a total of 10 running, maximum 5 votes, please.
Do we need to sign?
If you'd like to, please.
I would suggest that everybody sign the proxies, please.
If there's any question as to how to spell any one of the candidates' names, please ask.
They have to be accurate.
They don't have to be spelled perfect.
We need to be able to understand who it is.
Do you want us to sign the ballots after?
Yes, please.
Okay. If it's in a proxy, then we'll have to sign our own name, right?
Yes.
Where, at the bottom?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes.
All these legal things that you have going on, who is representing the association?
We've had 2 attorneys. This is Mercedes.
Okay.
She has a partner, Greg Meehan. And we also have a counsel that we ask various questions to. His name is Finkelman. So we have 2 kind of separate attorneys. Finkelman represents us on a daily basis. Mercedes represents us on this current lawsuit brought by 2 plaintiffs that are running for the board.
But can I tell you something? The same board that's getting sued hired the people, so they are hiring people to protect.
Not true at all.
That worked for the insurance company. She told you at the very beginning of the
I'm not
meeting.
talking about her, I'm talking about the other
They
legal
work
fees
for the
that we
insurance
have.
company as well. Mr. Finkelman was the attorney since 2007.
Yeah,
So-
he's the only one that.
Yes.
Is it possible, not saying that you guys haven't done a great job so far. I'm just saying, is it possible to hire a attorney, law office, just represents the association, for example?
We do have that, Finkelman. You know, we do have an attorney that represents the association with various questions. His name is Finkelman. Mercedes was hired specifically for this lawsuit. Once this lawsuit goes away, God knows when. But she'll
Why
go
do we
away.
need Mercedes if we got Finkelman?
Because the insurance company is protecting us, and the insurance company hired Mercedes. The board did not hire Mercedes, the insurance company did.
So who's paying? Insurance is paying them the...
No,
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are. We're paying the lawyers that we're paying.
The association pays Finkelman. For any miscellaneous questions.
Mr. Finkelman is probably the one that's made out the best.
Absolutely.
I can never answer your question because I always have to interrupt. You know, notice,
Association is paying.
I'm always interrupting, never able to get an answer.
Let him talk and get him up.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, I'll respond then. You want to know where the attorney they hired? They hired Ms. Shemansky. They hired Finkelman, spent thousands of dollars on Finkelman, suing other association members that didn't want to pay because of all these problems that they had. Not being able to give a statement of account, not being able to show us, even the transaction register. I've been seeking this. Who paid, who didn't pay? So we can figure out who owes money. There's money, there's thousands of dollars, okay? And either you can go with the losing horse like going to the racetrack and betting the same old losing horse, or you can go, I have complete faith in that man right there.
Yeah, right.
Okay, if he becomes the treasurer, you're gonna get a clean story about what's going on.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to cut off. Thank you. We're going to cut off conversation. We're going to cut off. And we're going to go ahead and vote. Rob, everybody has a ballot? Is that correct?
I believe everyone has a ballot.
Does everyone have a ballot? Do you have the correct number of ballots if you have proxies? Okay, just make sure you have enough ballots for the proxies. Once those are done, if you could please return them to Rob. Once we have got all the ballots, the meeting will adjourn.
No, we
You're
want to
welcome.
see, no, we want to see the ballots.
Oh, you can't do that.
We can do this.
I'm
We
supposed
want
to
to
get a
know
copy
the
of
results
them.
today.
No, I will give you a copy of them, Frank.
No, I want to go to a copy place. I can photograph
No,
every
he's not
ballot.
taking this thing. No.
I can photograph every ballot.
That's
Okay.
Yeah, we always wake up and find out that they voted themselves back in and the money's gone.
Mercedes, do you have an envelope that you can seal?
Where do we turn the ballots at? Carl, are you collecting the ballots?
Yes, sir. One moment.
You know what, why don't you just count them out? That's just wrong. No, you had it.
Mr. Chair, I'd ask that there be a roll call and everyone announce who they're voting for, so that it can be tabulated by the secretary, if there is a secretary.
Seconded.
There's a
You
motion
cannot
and a
deny.
second.
I second it. You cannot deny the motion.
Even if, here's the thing, right, even if everyone says, you know, I'm voting for so-and-so, it doesn't matter because ultimately their vote may not count, that's what we need to decide.
But we would have a handle on what was
We want to
done
know.
tonight.
We want to know, perhaps we don't trust that where the proxies or the ballots is going. We want to know. We want everything to be clear.
Well, after being told that the record
What's the problem with it? Okay.
Wait.
No problem with transparency. Unless you're doing something you shouldn't.
I know, but I don't know legally because of law people that can show it.
and all of the proxies.
You just have to believe it.
You want to take pictures of it? Did everyone put their, was there your address?
Frank, would you like to start photocopying or
Photograph.
What's Brian's unit number?
Frank, why don't you go down here?
What's yours, Kathy?
It's got to be on the.
Kathy, what is your unit? 75. No, your unit number, I'm 32.
Oh, just do it here? What service?
Better light here.
Oh, his address.
Brian has to know.
These are all the unit. Rob, these are all the proxies, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on, Rob, I have more. I have more.
This is
cell phone is right there.
See, all this stuff, everybody's got a towel.
Guys, once you're done voting, the meeting will adjourn. If you'd like to remain,
How's your daughter doing at
you're
UL?
welcome to, but we're not going to be announcing any results tonight because, as I mentioned to you before, we're going to vote, the judge is going to determine whose votes are valid, who's not, based on who has paid their dues. After he's looked at all of the records that have been provided, he will make a decision on who is eligible, who is ineligible,
Yeah, I
and
think
then
so, yeah.
the results will be provided. That's why.
And how will these results be provided? Will we get an email, phone call, letter?
There will be a letter, I'm certain that there will be a letter that, you know.
All right.
Sophia, they're not gonna give the results down, or what they do?
I want to know what happens now. They don't support. They cannot make a decision.
So she comes from the school.
Oh, wait, Mary, wait.
High school, I went to orientation because she got somebody she met there that was president. And said, we wanted to send some disinfectant.
Are we gonna be able to know what the votes were tonight?
Frank.
Well, I'm gonna have all of these, and then we're going to have, did you keeping track of when he was doing the roll call? Was anyone tabulating the roll call? I know I did. No. But I was one off.
You're the only one. What happens to the board? They cannot make a decision because we don't know who's the board, right? So they
There is
get.
no decision. This is just a, did you submit the petition for special meetings?
All right,
Can
so
De
we're not
Lorenzo
gonna
sign that?
basically know.
Didn't?
Can he?
Well, he just left.
Frank, does Mercedes know why you're questioning the signature? Does she know why? Does she know why? Okay. She knows about the prosecution in the Duke's courtroom? Okay.
And you know what?
Yeah. 17?
Okay, so now that's the box.
Anyone else?
Financials in the application.
That's stupid. I think it should be once a month, at least.
We used to.
Excuse me, does anyone else have a ballot that maybe?
Turn in their ballots.
I hear everybody yelling back and forth at each other. It's all dumb. You know, I can't stand this.
Set up a meeting together.
I know.
I might go wait for Friday.